It is holiday week. So what are your plans? What are you doing? Are you going to be busy? You're going to see family? Are you not going to see family? What's happening to you? You can see of experimenting with my life to a little less reflective on my new big glasses. Oh, there it is. Anyhow, what are your plans? I mean, the astrology of this week is definitely going to be really busy. We have a full moon in Cancer. We also have, just before that, we have Mercury popping back to Sagittarius retrograde. We have Moon in Gemini just before the full moon as well. So Moon will be opposite to Mars, which will be conjoined to Mercury as well. So there's a sense of irritation here, something for us to beware, to navigate as we go through this intense time. For some of us, it's very intense. For some of us, it's intensely happy, intensely irritating or upsetting, or there's usually this strong sense. Um, I don't even know of what. Like, I think holiday season is very demanding in a way. I think there's a lot going on around. If you are an HSP, if you are an empath, you tend to feel people's emotions a lot, the general kind of emotion around you as well. So I think this week is very normally, traditionally, a very busy week in terms of the collective energies, but is also astrologically. So let's learn about this. Let's look at these aspects, including the chart, the full moon, and see how we can see how we can prepare ourselves and make the most of these astrology, because this is constructive astrology. It is about using the astrological transits to create the life you want to live rather than fear mongering and create self-fulfilling prophecies. All right, so let's have a look at that. I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars. Welcome to my channel. If you're coming here for the first time, welcome again and again, and I hope you keep coming back for more. All right, so this is the chart of today, 22nd of December. So we're gonna look up to the 27th. So this 22nd, 27th, no, 29th, sorry. 7 plus 2. All right. And for today, we have the beginning of Capricorn season. So I already mentioned this in my last video, a little bit about the astrology of this Friday. So we have the beginning of Capricorn season. We have Mercury retrograde in the heart of the sun as well. So that could be an enlightening, day, something that we can have insights about, new ideas, new strategies, or anything to do with our sense of direction in life, with our ambitions, with the things that we want to accomplish, with the things that we want to achieve. I think Capricorn season can be a wonderful time for us to think and reassess all of these things. And I base that on like progress moon as well. Like having my progress moon going over Capricorn was a time where I could rethink and really assess how I wanted to do things. I could get to-do lists done. And I know that this is holiday season when a lot of us are having holidays and taking some time off. But if you have a daily job and you actually want to do something else, or you have, your passion on the side, this is the time that you can think about this. How can you make your passion into a profitable, income as well? Capricorn is all about the income as well. So mm, let's move on. So this is Friday. We're having these earthy trines here with Jupiter and the sun, and Mercury conjoined the sun as well in the sextile to Saturn. So a productive sort of aspects there. 23rd, day before Christmas Eve. So 23rd of December, Saturday, we're going to have Mercury popping back to Sagittarius. And this is something that's interesting, really, because we started at the 8th degree of Capricorn and now we're going back to Sag. So I really feel that there is something reminding you. There is a video I made, I'll put it in the description, about Mercury retrograde and based on your ascendant where this Mercury retrograde will be, so you can weave more personal details into this transit and make the most, understand in relation to your chart as well, because the more information you can add, the better. The more you can add depth and and significance and meaning. So this Mercury is interesting, like I was saying, because we're going from Capricorn to Sag. So we begin the whole journey with where do I want to be? What are my ambitions? How can I achieve more? How can I increase my income, etc., etc.? And now we're sort of, am I actually doing this in alignment to my beliefs? Do I actually believe in what I'm doing? Is there a deeper meaning to what I'm doing? Is there a deeper purpose on what I'm doing, etc.? So we start reviewing our beliefs as well in connection to that. So Mercury popping back to Sagittarius will bring a little bit of that flavor, and it potentially also makes us a little bit more outspoken and verbally active, and we might say things that we might regret. Mercury's still retrograde, so this is one of the warnings of this week, and the astrology of this week is, don't say anything that you might regret. Hold your tongue. Stay with the uncomfortable feelings or truth that you might be seeing, and wait until Mercury is moving direct to communicate. Because what happens is we change our minds. We constantly change our minds. And I've gone through that various times, even though I'm an astrologer and I know there's a Mercury retrograde, but I've done that in the past, when I've given ultimatums or sent letters and things, and then I regret it because I changed my mind. So try not to be too outspoken during the holidays, because there is a little bit of that energy. Try to take a deep breath and just, be patient with whatever it is that's happening around you. All right, be the bigger person. Okay, so 24th, and we move on to Christmas Eve, and we have already Moon in Gemini. And that's the interesting thing here, because on the 24th, 25th, we're going to have the moon making an opposition to Mars. So if I move on to the 25th, here we are, moon at 21 Gemini. This is Sao Paulo time as well. So it will be different times at different places in the world, depending where you are. But we have a moon in Gemini opposition to Mars in Sag, and not too far from opposing that Mercury retrograde in Sag as well. So again, this energy is very important to navigate, to use it wisely, have fun with it. I think one of the keywords for Sag and Gemini, and what they have in common, is curiosity, wanting to learn things, being open to change. And so if we can navigate these energies in this, like the best of Sagittarius and the best of Gemini, then we have a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel there, that we won't be arguing with our families, with people, etc. We won't be having these heated horrible, angry, arguments. But it could be banter. It could be banter. It could be fun banters and things like that. It could be lively conversations. It could be playing board games as well, and having a bit of a competition that's healthy amongst our family members as well. But there is that energy is very marked on Christmas, basically. So pay attention to that. On top of these opposition between Moon, Mars, and Mars, Mercury coming to conjoin, we also have a square to Neptune. So things might be a bit confused. We might not be clear about what actually the truth is, or, why we're actually having these arguments. So again, is that warning to have fun with this energy, to be playful with this energy, watch out not to drink too much. And I know that's Christmas, and there's a time to kind of overeat, overdo, overdrink, but just pay extra attention because of that square to Neptune. All right, and if you are, just stay over and take all the precautions that you need, because of this confusion and this tendency to not even notice how much you've drunk or how much you've eaten, and just realize once you're sort of not feeling very well. So that's what the main energy there on Christmas Eve. And then we have the full moon. So not only that, that energy with the moon in Gemini, but it's also the sort of the it's a crescent moon, so there's the moon is growing, is coming to oppose the sun. So there is an intensity there as well, an emotional intensity, and an increase of, I mean, if you're throwing a party, if you're seeing people, it's great, because people will turn up, and you're gonna have a more extroverted time potentially there. So the 26th is when we have the full moon. Full moon was at 4 degrees Cancer, and it is surprisingly positive full moon, I think. we talk about the full moon as a combination, as a strong emotional time. That might be a strong emotional release here with, Cancer being the sign, is the sign of the moon. So the moon is very, very powerful there. But we also have a couple of very supportive aspects that both the sun and the moon will be forming during this full moon. So there is a sense of hope with this full moon. There is a sense of gift that is also wrapped around the energies of this full moon somehow. So we have a trine to Saturn. So the moon is trine to Saturn in Pisces. The sun is sextile to Saturn, giving a sense of structure, taking responsibility, maturity, mature emotions, healing the past, potentially. And we also have a sextile to Jupiter and the trine from the sun to Jupiter. So those two energies, I think they're very blessed. And so this full moon seems to be a very blessed one where we can have emotional releases of a positive connotation and a sense of expansion and growth, really, in whatever situation that we find ourselves in, and forgiving as well, healing the past, having fun, having, feeling a little bit more generous as well with that Jupiter and Taurus. So there's something there that's quite, um, I don't know, I feel is a very supportive energy with this full moon. It's a beautiful full moon in Cancer, and right on the day after of Christmas as well. So it might be taking a ride on that feeling, the feelings of Christmas, the desire to share and to include others and to forgive and to be with the family, with the Cancer full moon. And also at the same time, we have that Mercury Mars coming very close to each other. So again, there's still lingering on that feeling, that energy of being very outspoken, of being very, truth, hypocrisy shooter, and like being very direct as well. So just watch out for that energy, especially during a full moon. But we also have a Venus trine Neptune. And I think that reinforces the moon sextile Saturn in Pisces, the Piscean kind of flavor here in this full moon, and the sense of forgiving, the sense of moving on from something, leaving something behind, making amends, potentially, and etc. So there's a very beautiful energy in this full moon of Cancer. So I hope you guys can make the most of it and really enjoy it, really have a good time during Christmas. Well, 27th of December, that's Wednesday, we have the exact trine from the sun to Jupiter, and we also have an exact conjunction between Mercury and Mars as well. So our minds might be racing, 1,000 kilometers per hour, and that sun Jupiter as well. So it could be a good time to get our minds engage our minds in something that's benevolent somehow, rather than just getting into arguments and, road rage or anything like that. But really try to philosophize more, read more books, use your mind in a more productive way. I think the sun Jupiter trine is also echoing a little bit the Sagittarius Mercury Mars there somehow. We got the Sag, we got the Jupiter Sun. So this could be a wonderful time for expanding, learning, thinking about what you want to learn next year, maybe making lists about the way that you want to expand yourself, expand your mind next year. How do you want to grow next year? What do you want 2024 to be about? I think is a, key sort of flavor here with these two aspects. And then we have the 28th of December, still within orb, and again, like that conjunction is a square to Neptune, isn't it? It's like thinking about what you want to accomplish next year, but also thinking with your third eye, or seeing with your third eye, like having visions of this future in a more ethereal way as well, embracing a little bit that Neptune energy, embracing your imagination a little bit more as well. Doing some spiritual practices and creative writing as well, and just imagining what next year could be like. If nothing was a problem, if there was no obstacles, what would you like to accomplish? What would be your ideal 2024. And, vision board. I think that's a great way of using this Mercury, Mars, Neptune. All right. So the moon will be moving from Cancer to Leo, which will be the 29th of December, which is when we stop our video here. But Mercury in Leo coming to trine that Chiron, another feeling of healing that could be happening as well during this week. You'll be coming to trine these planets here in Sag as well, and trine the North Node as well. Mercury's trine to the North Node, and is really giving this feeling of thinking about this year, last year, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And thinking about the past, and having this sense. And, with Venus moving to Sag as well, that's what's happening on the 29th. So, yeah, so this is it. Our values, it's actually a wonderful move here between Venus and Jupiter, because Jupiter is in the sign of Venus, Venus is in the sign of Jupiter, and there is this there's this beautiful mutual reception between the two, and this is just before the end of the year. So again, that sense of a vision board of thinking about next year as an adventure. How do you want to do it? What do you want to accomplish next year, and etc. So that's it. I'm gonna finish here. I hope you have a wonderful week, and that you have a beautiful Christmas, a beautiful holiday season with the people you love, and full of abundance and love and rebirth, and all of that. And I hope you have a wonderful time. Look after yourself, look after your energy, and I'll be seeing you all next week. Bye bye now.